you aware that Herbalife is not a weed dispensary?
No.
I found out the hard way. I may have to have you accompanied to me court later on this month.
Coming to you from high atop the mendacious building in beautiful downtown Chattanooga. It's the Balderdash Syndicate. And now here's your hosts, Chip and James.
I'm not Chip.
And I'm not James.
And this is the Balderdash Syndicate. I feel so much better once we're in it.
Yeah, I know.
That's the hardest part. That
This
fucking...
is the very beginning.
Yeah.
So we're back. Episode 2. Well, episode 42. 2 for y'all. Whatever.
Fucking Paul. I'm really glad to be here because it's definitely been a rough fucking week.
Yeah, I like how you call me angry when you're in drive-thrus.
Dude, it took me almost an hour just to get the hell out of my neighborhood. It took me over an hour. It took me an hour and a half to get here. Just fucking crazy. So I've tried really hard not to go to like fast food joints or anything. I ordered DoorDash the other night and had another incident with DoorDash. I left a note on the thing not to knock because they're usually coming like 9, 10 o'clock at night. Everyone in the house is asleep and my dog fucking just goes crazy barking and stuff. So I put on there, like in capital letters, don't knock, right? So you can watch the DoorDash guy. First it tells you the person's name, and then it says like they're on their way, they're 2 minutes out, and all that shit.
It shows them pulling in your driveway.
Right, shows the whole thing, right? So I know they're there, right? So they don't need to knock. I know when they're there, a little email comes up that they dropped my fucking food off, so don't fucking knock. So I'm sitting there, and I'm like, okay, and like here comes the big fucking question, and I hear... knock on my fucking door. My dog goes nuts and wakes the whole fucking house up. And I'm like, motherfucker, did it again, right? And I'm like, do they not know? So I texted the person, right? Because they give me their name, like they contact me.
Yeah.
So I texted him and I said, hey, I specifically asked you not to knock. So the driver texts me back. He says, I needed to let you know that I was there, right? And I'm like, I saw you. And you saw me. I fucking saw them pulling up. I'm standing in the window, like, trying not to let my dog know that there's somebody in the, pulling up.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, they have their number. They could call and text you.
They did. They were, you're right. So I said, so then the driver texts me back after I say, I saw you and you saw me.
Yeah.
Driver says, it's no big deal. And I said, no, motherfucker. I said, it is a big deal. My dog's barking, waking up the whole damn house.
Yeah. So
then the driver texts me back, says, my bad.
Yeah.
Right? And I said, I'm like, I'm fucking mad as fuck now. I'm like, my bad. That's a fucking, now I'm pissed, right? Now, nobody really woke up. My dog calmed down after a few minutes, but this is like all irrational.
Yeah. But it's the principle of it, though. I know what you mean.
Yeah. So I'm pissed.
Yeah. So like you're telling this dude, you fucking woke up everybody in my house.
Yes.
Now my wife thinks I'm cheating on her.
Yeah. They're like, oops, so sorry, right? Yeah. What? Not even so sorry. My bad.
Yeah.
Which I fucking hate. Yeah, it's a cop out.
Yeah.
So I texted him back. And I said, you need to come back here so I can punch you. Right?
Yeah.
And then the driver texts me back and says, excuse me? I said, it's the least you can do. Come back here so I can punch you.
Yeah.
And the guy goes, are you serious? So the driver says, are you serious, right? And I said, I left instructions not to knock. You broke the rules. So I'm sorry, I don't want to punch you. But if you break the rules, you've got to get punched. Yeah. Right? So the driver texts me back and says, I'm not doing that. I said, don't make this difficult. Right? So the driver texts me back. She goes, this is stupid, right? Now I'm just completely fucking with the person.
Yeah.
Right? So I said, I gave you the option of being prepared for the punch. And it's much safer when you're expecting it.
You did this to you, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then I never got another text back. And I probably can't order DoorDash anymore.
Well, we have always said you're for sure on a list somewhere. Now more than one for sure.
Yeah. Oh my God. And then I may have fallen on a left-handed cigarette and got really, really, really high.
Uh-huh.
And decided I was going to cook beans.
What kind of beans?
Like baked beans.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And then I may have forgotten that I was cooking baked beans and almost burned the house down. Right? But I ate them anyway because I was really, really high. And then I was laying in bed and I was watching YouTube videos and I farted so loud that my dog thought it was thunder and got scared.
Your poor dog.
Oh.
You abuser. I've got audio of you saying you're going to punch her right in the cunt.
Oh, by the way, if you are a DoorDash driver named Sarah T, I'm fucking coming for you.
All right. I think that's a threat.
Oh, you fucker. Beer came out my nose.
One time, oh fuck! One time I took a sleeping pill. I got really tired, but you know, like an adult, I'm fighting off the sleep, really getting my money's worth.
seeing if I can rub one out before I pass out.
No, the game is to see how many times you can do it before you pass out.
Oh well, that's a young man's game.
But no matter what, you always win. Oh shit! But I got the munchies, and I was like, man, some chicken tenders sound nice right about now. So I get a pan out and I put my chicken tenders in the oven. And, you know, when you set the timer on the oven, it doesn't have seconds; it goes minutes, and then on the other side of the colon is hours. Well, my dumbass wasn't thinking minutes on this side, hours on that side. I was like, who the fuck puts anything in the oven for hours?
Right.
It's minutes on the other side, seconds on this side.
Well,
so instead of putting my chicken nuggets in the oven for 30 minutes...
30 hours?
30 fucking hours.
Why is the fucking oven not going off?
So I get on the couch and I'm like, even if I go to sleep, I'm going to hear the oven go off. Turns out I didn't hear the oven at all or smell the smoke in the house for 3.5 fucking hours. My mom woke me up. She'd come right out of her room, like, screaming the house is on fire. And I wake up, and I'm like, oh, the house ain't on fire. And I'm like, oh, fuck, I think the house is on fire. And it was smoke coming out of the oven. These chicken tenders were so overcooked. They looked like they were still on they were solid black.
Right.
And it looked like they were still on the pan. And we just jerked the pan out of the oven and threw it outside on the porch. Well, the next day when I went and looked at them, it was just a shell of chicken tenders.
Everything inside
they
gone.
were completely hollow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's when I decided I could open my own funeral home.
I was like, small enough bodies go in there.
I'm going to do just children.
And then I met James.
I had some children to get rid of.
That is called supply and demand. Economics 101.
So Paul stopped me for fucking like an unreasonably long time. How he will to tell me all about how he needs to pass kidney stones.
Yeah.
Like now.
Mm-hmm.
Right now.
Now? Oh.
Yeah. So.
Not the near future, like right
no,
now.
Yeah, right now.
As we're talking.
Yeah, he's like, I need to pass them, and if I can, I gotta try. And then he started mumbling about like, I could try this, and like as if as if I was still listening,
yeah.
Right. And like, it went on for a long time. I'm fucking like just going about my day, doing my business, and I noticed like 5 minutes later, he's still talking and has been the whole time about his fucking kidney stones. Like Jesus Christ, dude. I will drink, or I can drink, or have drunk soda my whole life. Large quantities of soda. Like, I'll go through a 2-liter Diet Coke like it's nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Never had any kidney stones that I know of.
Yeah.
I do have like a massively desensitized dick, so
all right.
I may have had kidney stones and not known it.
I don't know. I really know what to do with that.
No one does.
They're all like,
what am I supposed to do with that?
Why is it not working, Uncle James? Slap it harder. Speaking of creepy uncles.
Oh, this took a turn.
I don't know how to go back from this. This is going to be an hour of just us giggling.
Let's see what else we got. Paul.
Oh, last week's topic, glory holes.
Yes.
Can we go back to that?
Always.
Please. So after you left, you told me that you could only find one glory hole in Chattanooga,
right.
Which was, what is it called?
Drake's.
Just Drake's?
Drake's.
Okay, so just Drake's of Chattanooga.
For some reason, I think that's by my house.
You should go check it out.
Yeah.
But after you told me that you could only find one, I was like, fucking Chattanooga, man. There's more than one.
Yeah.
For sure.
I mean, if not, I'm going to drive around town with a drill.
With a skill saw.
We should, you know what I want to happen? I want us to get to the point where we have enough followers in Chattanooga to where one of these bars or restaurants will sponsor us by letting us do an official glory hole in their bathroom. And you know how you like normally wrap duct tape around it so you don't scrape your dick up? We'll just use our stickers for all
it's just
around.
Balderdash Syndicate stickers all around it. Okay. All right, I found another glory hole in Chattanooga, the Tremont Tavern.
Really?
Yes.
That's on the North Shore off of Hickson Pike?
Hickson Pike and Tremont Street, which makes sense for Tremont Tavern. This says glory hole in the bathroom at Tremont Tavern. And apparently it's legit because 7 people have thumbs upped it. There's even a comment that says
thumbs up it. I get it.
Thumbs upped it. Yeah. There you go. Someone even left a really nice comment and said, "I'll go down that way. Got cream that needs removed," and left their email.
Oh, we got to write that guy a letter.
Yeah, I think we're going to have to. And then we got this other guy that left a comment. He left his kick information. I'm
just kind of floored by the fact that there's a gloryhole.com that you can just find out where the glory holes in your area are.
There was one other one, but I can't. I want to save it, though.
You're going to save the glory hole for yourself?
I don't want to give this one away.
I don't want to get it all muddied up.
Yeah. Don't want to ruin my spot. You don't tell everybody where you meet your drug dealer. This one's for me. All right, can we get into our beer now? I'm ready for a drink.
Okay.
My mouth is super dry.
It's beer time with Chip and James. One is a jerk and the other's insane. It's beer time with Chip and James. Which one will pull their dick out? Beer time.
All right. And today we are drinking Sunblaze IPA from the Five Wits Brewing out of Chattanooga. It is 6.1% ABV. It's a 70 on the IBU scale. Crisp and mouthfeel with a well-balanced bitterness, slightly juicy finish that leaves a tingle on the tongue, as Uncle James likes it.
That's an awfully catchy song.
It is.
Yeah, I like that.
I sing it a lot to myself. Yeah, during the week, like late in the evenings, I'll go to the fridge and I'll grab a beer. And on my way to the fridge, I'm like, it's beer time. Okay.
You know, people might think that we're supporting local businesses by doing Chattanooga beers, but we're just fucking lazy.
Yeah, pretty much. That's how lazy we are. We're never getting out of Chattanooga. So if you're thinking about opening anything in Chattanooga, I would think twice. You might want to open it the next city over because you can guarantee we're going to talk about it. And we make no promises to always say nice things. I was watching this documentary this morning over these concentration camps because that's how I like to start off every morning. But I didn't know. I don't know why I get on these huge kicks about like World War II for some reason. I just get really in the spirit. I don't know why. But no, like I've always been a huge fan of World War II. It's probably my favorite of all the wars. But no, I've always been real interested in World War II, and
I think the Germans were really efficient.
Really great, like team building skills.
You know what's fucked up is if you go to India right now.
Yeah.
Right now, if there's a if there's a lot of stores and like little stores and businessmen and stuff that have swastikas up and pictures of Hitler, because for whatever reason they never got the fucking memo of what really went on, and they think like they've read Mein Kampf and shit, and they just believe he was a really good businessman.
Yeah, I don't think the German civilians even really understood what exactly was going on, because what I was watching this morning, it was it was shot in black and white. And it was about after we had won the war and we were going into all the concentration camps and, like setting everyone free, arresting all the Nazis and providing aid to the people that were there in the camps, the ones that they could. After they did all that, all the soldiers went around to the towns around the camps and fucking like rounded everybody up and said, hey, y'all get fucking dressed. Walk 5 miles over here to this camp. Every one of y'all are going to do a walkthrough.
Yeah.
Over what y'all have done.
Right.
So in the video, it shows a huge line of fucking people walking miles to this camp, and they're all laughs and smiles and giggles. And that's the first thing they're brought into. They come into the camp and they have a table set up there right in the middle as soon as you come in with a lampshade made out of human skin. And then it looks like pieces of paper all over the table with drawings and stuff on like different art and stuff that's, for the most part, is pretty graphic. Like it's naked women and shit that people have drew, and it's not fucking paper, it's skin. It is sections of people's skin. That's the first thing they show them, and they're like, this is from one of the higher ranking Nazis there. This is what they done. And everyone's like, so what? They did that. One person did that. Oh, well, big deal. So then they start taking them through the camp, and they're taking them through the buildings where there's fucking dead people just piled up and laying around, and they're like, walk through there, and they're like, no, we're good, we get it. And they're like pointing their guns at them. They're like, no, you're gonna fucking walk through there and look at everything y'all have done. This is y'all's doing.
They're now opening up a database. You know how like the Nuremberg trials, they just basically got some of the people involved?
Yeah.
They now have a huge database where they're getting anybody that was involved.
Wow.
Anybody. Guards, people that were delivering food, like everybody that they're going to start prosecuting everybody.
Yeah. Pretty crazy.
Yeah, so,
Did you read the articles
your
about
grandpa might not be around much longer.
Oh, shit. Did you read about the dude? I think he was like living in New York or something, and he was a guard at one of the concentration camps. They were saying like he was one of the worst. Yeah. And he fled. I'm pretty sure it was the United States.
It's a documentary about him.
Yeah.
The people on the streets recognized him.
Yeah, and they were like, that's him. He was like, no, that's not me. My name is this. And they're like, no, dude, we swear to God, this is fucking you. Yeah. Yeah, and it ended up being him.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Making sure I got that story right, because I tell everybody.
I tell everybody.
I'm like, yeah, we're still getting them.
Oh, yeah.
USA.
We're number one. We fucking imported them. That's how we funded NASA and shit.
Yeah, I know.
Not funded, but
Yeah, same thing. Yeah. I was listening to this other documentary the other night before I go to bed, because right before I go to sleep, I always want to hear about coked up Nazis.
I like to paint my bedroom walls black and red, so when I wake up in the morning, I'm good and angry.
Yeah. So it was some part of the, I don't remember exactly what it was called, but Hitler was saying that he wanted every single one of his soldiers to be awake and alert for 3 days straight to fight. Every single one of them. So everyone that was in a tank, they weren't to leave that tank for 3 days. They were supposed to keep fighting, and they did. And they couldn't figure out how they were doing it. And then everyone that was in the planes and shit too. The only time they were supposed to come down was to refuel and then get back up in there for 3 days straight. So this man crashed, and when they went through the wreckage of what was left in his airplane, it was kind of like a briefcase, but it was everything he needed. It was like a survival kit, and it had a little med pouch in it, and they were going through it, and they found these pills in there that were wrapped in gold foil. And when they had them examined, and I'm not a whatever, but when they were looking into what they were, it ended up being meth. Is what they were doing.
Meth was invented by the Japanese, and that's where kamikaze fighters come from. Yeah. Yeah.
My grandpa won't stop talking about it.
I know. This fucker, he's been up for like 8 weeks now. He just fucking does nothing but talk. Did you hear? So back on October 6th at 11:15 at night, right over on Signal Mountain, there was a cop driving on Shackleford Ridge Road, and he noticed two people standing out Signal Mountain Fire Station number 2. He's a male and a female standing out front. He went back by the station, and he noticed that they had entered the building. So he thought that they were trespassing. So he ran one of the tags of a truck in the parking lot and found that it wasn't a fireman. So he went and he looked in the window, and the two were in the training room performing sexual acts.
Oh.
Right? So the officer, this is the funny part.
They offered.
Yeah. The officer, he turns on his body cam. So I really want the body cam footage of this.
Yeah.
He enters the building and he detains him. And when he goes into the training room, the male starts running to an exit. He went to go detain them, and the male starts running to an exit. And the officer was able to stop the male and put him in custody, right? Mm-hmm. The officer then called additional backup, right? He called for backup, notified the Signal Mountain Fire Department, and 2 other Hamilton County deputies arrived at the scene to help him out, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the male told the officer the female was actually a male who was a firefighter and was hiding in the men's bathroom. So the 2 officers entered the station but were unable to locate the second person. They couldn't find him.
Yeah.
And then a Signal Mountain firefighter in the bay began helping the crew search the station. Then after a while, they began to think that the fireman that was helping them search the station was acting a little odd.
Yeah.
And then he noticed that he had lip gloss on his lower lip.
Nice.
So while the officer was talking to the fireman about the situation, the second officer began speaking to the male in custody, who told them that the person was an on-duty fireman, had performed sexual acts while dressed as a woman.
Trying to make some extra money.
Yeah. So then the firefighter that eventually admitted it was him, who was the other male, and then said that he didn't do any sexual acts. He was just dressed as a woman. And then eventually came out the second officer. They later found a black bag containing female clothes and a wig inside the men's restroom at the station. So he was blowing this dude. The cops show up with their cameras on.
Yeah.
He runs in the bathroom, changes real quick, and then pretends to be a firefighter. Here, let me help you guys find this fucker.
Yeah. What the hell's going on here?
There's a woman loose in here? Let me find her. So then the firefighter just resigned.
So the moral of the story is we need to give our firefighters raises.
Yeah.
If
you're going to blow someone, what kind of a filthy whore wears lip gloss to blow someone?
All right.
Is that not that right?
Different folks.
I don't want lip gloss on my dick. Do you think that hookers watch porn and go, "Oh fuck, now they're gonna want me to do this crazy shit"?
Dude, I have listened to like documentaries and interviews with like escorts and stuff like that. No,
It's for research.
Actually,
I'm doing research.
Okay.
I got this new game on my computer where I try to fucking exit out all the pages that are popping up before my wife sees me, and if she sees me, I fucking lose.
So when I was a kid, my parents had HBO, and I'm like 8 years old, and I'm just learning that Cat House is not an animal sanctuary. And it instead is a whorehouse in like Reno, Nevada or some shit like that.
Yeah.
And like it was mostly just the chicks talking about it. Basically was just like the chicks talking about how creepy the dudes are that come in there.
And they're not wrong.
Yeah. I was watching this thing and one of the chicks was talking about most of these men want pornography on the TV when they're, doing what they're doing so they can like point at the TV and be like, I want to do that. And then they do that for like a couple of seconds. He's
It's like a fucking deaf mute learning to read.
Yeah, he was like, that.
I'm going to go in there with a chalkboard and just draw stick figures.
Go in with like a board with like braille on it. And it's little bumps of people.
And not just fake sign language and the whole time not say anything and try. And what your end goal is, all your buddies are like got $50 on this, whether or not you can explain to this girl that you want her to shove the board up your ass.
And then she does it, and you finish up. You're like, wow, thanks, that was good. I appreciate that.
Oh,
man.
What a nice young lady.
Yeah.
I gotta take my flannel off. It's fucking hot.
I'm going to have to take a break.
You want to take a break?
Yeah, I got to pee.
Okay.
Let's go.
Everyone's drunk. Here, listen to this.
Hello, I'm Ellen DeGeneres. If you'd like to hear your ad here, contact Paul at boulder-syndicate@gmail.com. I really hope a lot of you contact him and really make him work for his beer money. Because, as you all know, Paul is a piece of crap. I didn't say shite because I'm a lady. What the fuck are you looking at? I said dance, Nancy boy.
I mean, I don't really care. What's wrong with your dick?
Sounded like you were emptying out a fish tank in there.
It felt like I was emptying out a fish tank. Speaking of emptying out fish tanks, whatever that has to do with any of this. Fucking, okay, so you know how I mentioned Andy Dick on our last show?
Yeah.
So I grew up watching, Andy Dick in various TV shows and movies. And, I've always thought he was really funny and enjoyed his stuff. I knew he was crazy. And, he's always played a crazy character in movies and shows and shit. And then as I got older, I was like, oh, that's not acting. That's just who he is.
Right.
And then when I mentioned him last time and you were like, you reminded me how crazy it was. I got to thinking about it. I was like, well, I want to Google Andy Dick and see what all he's like really been into. Because I thought he hasn't been into that much. He's just, he's just crazy. So,
he's next level crazy.
Yeah. So, Andy Dick is an American comedian, actor, musician, and television and film producer. Speaking of being a musician, have you heard the titles of his albums that he has put out?
No.
Okay, let me see where I got it here. I'm supposed to talk about this later on, but it's kind of too good to not mention right off the bat. Oh, where the hell is that? Okay, Andy Dick and the Bitches of the Century. In his 2007 album, Do Your Shows Always Suck? And then The Darkest Day of the Year, which was in 2009, and that was not his darkest day of the fucking year, 2009. No. So...
Arrests and legal actions.
I know. So, best known as a comic, he is also known for his eccentric behavior, drug addiction, and sexual misconduct allegations and arrests. And he was first seen on the Ben Stiller Show in the mid-90s. And then he was on News Radio with Joe Rogan.
Right.
So, I did some digging. Really didn't have to dig too far. Because... more than his film history or anything. Here's a picture of Andy Dick holding a piñata with a cutout of Tom Green for the face.
I have that piñata.
So, in 1999, he was questioned in the suicide of actor David Strickland and identified his body to start off with.
That's always a good start.
So it started with they partied for 3 days in different strip clubs, and the dude ended up hanging himself on one of those nights. It just says 1999. Then on May 15th, Dick drove his car into a utility pole in Hollywood. Was charged with possession of cocaine, cannabis, and drug paraphernalia, driving under the influence, and hit and run. December 4th, 2004, Dick was arrested for indecent exposure. Not the first or the last time.
Oh, come on.
He exposed his buttocks at a local McDonald's.
That's not, come on. I mean, how old was he there? 42?
Yeah. Right. That's just
not
a kid. Yeah. So July 16th, 2008, Dick was arrested in Murrieta, California on suspicion of drug possession and sexual battery.
Yeah.
He exposed the breasts of a 17-year-old girl when he allegedly grabbed and pulled down her tank top and bra.
That's just good fucking clean fun right there. Okay, and
stop.
Again, I mean, the ages make it a little weird, but come on.
You're making it really hard to gain support for the show. But they searched him and found, weed and Xanax, which Grow up.
I mean, how
Really.
many times have you shown up at a house and Chris Hansen comes out and says, "Hey, dude, did you bring Xanax?"
Yeah, it's right here next to the weed. January 23rd, 2010, Dick was arrested at 4 a.m. at a bar in Huntington, West Virginia on charges of sexual abuse after reportedly groping a bartender and a patron.
Oh, wait. Were the bartender and the patron male or female?
Probably both.
Okay.
March 2018, Lena Sved obtained a restraining order against Dick requiring him to stay at least 100 yards from Sved and the couple's children. So this is his ex-wife.
You don't know that.
No, it's his ex-wife.
It could just be somebody you met at the grocery store.
Hey, you want to have some kids? June 2018, charged misdemeanor sexual battery. Oh my God.
Wait.
Battery charges for allegedly groping a woman in April that year.
4 months after receiving a restraining order, he's arrested.
Yeah.
4 months.
Yeah,
He
for
went
just groping somebody else.
4 months. I want to see one of those yarn charts on the wall that show like the timeline of all this shit. This has been a downward spiral for a while.
Well, so for it to be a downward spiral, you have to be up here pretty far.
Yeah.
I don't think he was really ever up here to be making it. It's been just like a steady line.
It's a steady line of abuse.
Yeah, like too much time starts going by. He's like, wow, I've been real good lately.
I think I need to pull down someone's halter top.
So in 2005...
I like to reward myself with a little halter top action for my goodness.
This is what you were talking about in the last episode about him pulling his pants down and exposing himself.
Oh, he's been, yeah.
Or were we talking about Bobby Lee?
Well, Bobby Lee does it too, but
he does it a lot.
But Bobby Lee's cuter, I guess,
because he's Asian.
Yeah, he's
So
not
he
like
gets
a real
the pass.
person, right?
So he gets the pass.
Oh,
In 2005, Dick dropped his pants and exposed his genitals to the audience at Yuck Yuck's Comedy Club in Edmonton, Alberta.
yeah, Canada.
He was ushered off stage, and the second night was canceled.
Yeah, Canada doesn't understand American humor. That's the whole problem there.
Oh, fucking Paul. Okay, also, Dick groped Pamela Anderson during her 2005 Comedy Central roast. He joked that he was her plastic surgeon and used the premise to repeatedly grab her breasts. During the roast, Dick also attempted to grope Courtney Love, proceeded to slap him across the face, and Dick also mimed performing oral sex on Anderson's husband at the time, Tommy Lee.
Oh, yeah.
I don't remember any of that.
This is just kids being kids.
This is textbook Andy Dick.
Yeah, I mean,
oh, and in no way are we condoning this or saying any of this is acceptable.
I'm
This is
pretty
just,
much thinking this is acceptable.
It is not. Stop it. This is a progressive podcast, James.
Come on.
Whatever. You're going to start the next episode off.
You know,
hey, liberals.
Some people just don't know how to take a joke. That's all there is to it. This is all hysterical.
I can't even read this next one because you're going to get us in trouble.
Okay.
In 2006, Dick upset an audience at the Improv in Los Angeles by shouting, "You're all a bunch of N-words."
Yeah.
Following an improvised set from Ian Bagg.
Right.
This was a direct reference to Michael Richards' use of the same, he said the same thing 2 weeks earlier to insult the hecklers in the crowd.
He upset the entire audience?
Okay. February 2007. Stop. Nope. Stop it. Dick was forcibly removed from the stage during an appearance of Jimmy Kimmel Live when we watched this earlier after repeatedly touching guest Ivanka Trump.
Yeah.
Jimmy Kimmel called in his security guards, Uncle Frank and Vitris Rice. Vitris?
Look, he did nothing that her dad doesn't do on a regular basis.
Who assisted as Kimmel dragged Dick off by his legs. Kimmel later said Andy did a segment and he was a little out of it. And when Ivanka came out, he wanted a big wet kiss. It was time for Andy to go, so I escorted him out by his feet. Kimmel added, "He always makes me a little uncomfortable. You have no idea what he's going to do next. Kimmel also said that he had spoken with Dick afterwards and that Dick was not upset about the incident. So they did that, and then Andy Dick's like,
Whatever.
yeah, that's fine. Like, no, I would have kicked me off too. Okay, October 2010. Dick was seen exposing himself and making a commotion at Cafe Audrey in Hollywood. In 2011, Dick was thrown to the AVN Awards, a pornographic movie award ceremony.
Yeah, the adult video.
Yeah.
Something. What
Whatever
does
that
AVN
means.
stand for?
I have no idea.
Adult Video Awards? Adult. What? Adult. Oh, God damn it. Hold on.
Adult Video News.
What the fuck?
Yeah. I don't know how that's news.
I feel like I've been ripped off.
So, he was kicked out of there after repeatedly groping and stalking adult film actress Tara Patrick and drag queen, is it Chi LaRue?
A drag queen?
Yeah.
Okay.
He later claimed to have stayed clean for at least 3 months after his relapse. Whatever that. So he did that. He was like, no, guys, I've been sober for 3 months. I would have said I'm doing drugs.
That's what I say whenever I meet somebody
man.
new. I walk up and I shake their hand and I say, hey. They say, hi, I'm so-and-so. I say, hi, I'm James. I'm 3 months sober.
My name's James. I'm a heroin addict.
You know, just because you're in the secret club doesn't mean you have to introduce yourself that way every time to everyone.
Oh, man. Okay. All right. So, in 2011, Dick was at a party connected with the Newport Beach Film Festival. He appeared intoxicated, exposed himself, and urinated on a backdrop, and afterwards destroyed it by pulling it down.
I wonder what the backdrop was.
The organizers claim that this caused thousands of dollars of damages, and considered suing Dick over the incident. In August of 2011, Dick was a guest on Greg Fitzsimmons' radio show and made anti-Semitic statements about Howard Stern. And Dick said Stern was a money-grubbing Jew and repeated calling him a hook-nosed Jew. This is so
just
bad.
kept at it until it came.
Yeah.
That's a premise that a lot of comedians use. If no one laughs at it the first time, just keep repeating it until it's fucking funny.
Yeah. So it didn't work for him. So Dick later stated he had written an apology letter to Stern. Okay, so and then he also has this feud with John Lovitz, which I'd never heard anything about this though. So he's got an ongoing dispute with former News Radio co-star John Lovitz concerning the death of their mutual friend Phil Hartman.
Ah, dude, I totally forgot that John Lovitz was on that show.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, he was on there to replace Phil Hartman. I'm
right.
pretty sure. Yeah, right?
Oh.
Let's see.
So do you think that Andy Dick just hates John Lovitz because he replaced Phil Hartman?
Well, I don't think he hates John Lovitz. I think John Lovitz hates Andy Dick because...
he keeps calling him by the other dude's name.
Well, it says according to Lovitz...
Until
Dick,
it's funny.
It says Dick had given Hartman's wife, Brian, cocaine at a Christmas party at Hartman's house in 1997. Brian, a recovering addict, fell back into drug use, culminating in her killing Hartman and herself on May 28th, 1998.
Who did this?
Dick gave Phil Hartman's wife
drugs,
cocaine at a Christmas party.
Caused her to relapse.
Yes, and which I guess was like causing him to do drugs too. So then, when Lovitz joined the cast of News Radio as Hartman's replacement, he and Dick got into an argument in which Lovitz reportedly said, "I wouldn't be here if you hadn't given Brian coke in the first place."
Nice.
And then he apologized to Dick for the remark. And then in 2007, Dick approached Lovitz at a restaurant and said, "I put the Phil Hartman hex on you. You're the next to die." So he walked up out of nowhere, crossed his fingers in his face, and said, "I put the Phil Hartman hex on you. You're next."
Come on, that's
and
funny.
Then, Lovitz,
that's a long way to go for a joke.
Yeah, I know. And then on July 10th,
give the girl cocaine.
Yeah.
First, you got to find someone to sell you the cocaine. Oh, you got to blow a dude for the money to pay for the cocaine. That's a long way for him to run up.
And it's a cocaine blowjob, so it's not like enjoyable. It's like panic stricken.
Literally. Just so that years later, this whole long setup, you could run up and go, I put the Phil Hartman curse on you. Come on.
I can't believe
you're a better comedian than that, Andy Dick.
This is so bad. So on July 10th, 2007, Lovitz got into a physical confrontation with Dick at the Laugh Factory in Los Angeles. Lovitz demanded an apology from Dick, who refused and accused Lovitz of blaming him for Hartman's death. Lovitz then smashed Dick's head into the bar.
Okay. I mean, you know.
And that's all I got to say about that.
Some people really can't take a joke.
Oh, that was a lot. And what's bad, though, is like I didn't even have to look hard for that.
No.
I literally just Googled Andy Dick Wikipedia and got all that information that I could have just told every one of you to
Wait.
go and read this. What is it?
He was in the Inspector Gadget movie?
Yes.
What? He was?
Yeah. Let's see. What else was he in? He was in a couple things, and I was like, holy shit.
I don't remember him in The Cable Guy. He was the host at Medieval Times.
He was the host at Medieval Times, yeah. Do you, the movie, because I'm a huge Pauly Shore fan, too. That's probably what's wrong with me. In the Army Now, with Pauly Shore.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that was a good movie.
Who did he play?
Fucking, he was one of the other guys that was
in the
stuck
unit?
out there in the desert with him. Yeah.
Oh, man. He's been in a lot of movies.
Bong Water. I've never seen Bong Water before.
No, me either. I mean, I've seen Bong Water, just not the movie.
Road Trip. That was another one of my favorite parts that he played. The motel clerk in Road Trip. When that the dude goes in there and asks him if he knows where he can buy weed.
No,
you hadn't seen that? Oh my god.
I have seen. I know I've logged these movies. I just don't remember.
Yeah.
A lot of what went on in them. Barry in fucking Old School. He played Barry. And he was uncredited in the movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was also uncredited in Dude,
Who the
Where's My
fuck is
Car?
Barry in that movie? One of the kids?
Oh, hang on. Let me look it up real quick. I think maybe he was uncredited because I think maybe
they cut it?
Yeah, I think
what movie was he in recently where he was in the kitchen of a house teaching a bunch of housewives how to give blowjobs?
Oh God, I know what you're talking about. Was that a movie or was that a series?
I don't know, and we never will. I'll never remember.
No, I will remember. Hang on. Oh, I liked him in Employee of the Month too. Because you know they work at, it's like a big Costco. You know how they have fucking everything there, and they have the little eye department. And he was the doctor there, and he wore those big ass glasses, and he couldn't see nothing.
I vaguely remember that.
Is that not who he played? And maybe that's who he played in Old School. Yeah.
What?
Where he was teaching the women how to give blowjobs.
Yep. I think you're right.
Yeah, right here. Old School, 2003. Barry. Oral sex instructor.
2006.
That's right.
Blowjobs.
Yeah, 2006. Blowjobs.
My grandpa used to call it hammer mouth.
What's a hammer mouth?
It's a blowjob.
I'm trying to figure out what the latest thing he's been.
You're not even going to ask me about my grandfather who fucking uses the term hammer mouth?
No, I don't want to know.
Okay.
What's a hammer mouth and where can you get one at 3 a.m.? You're about to find out. It's time for Chip's Browser History.
Fellatio.
Today's segment on Nat Geo will be on fellatio. Fellatio is the oral sex act involving a person stimulating the penis of another person by using the mouth, throat, or both. Oral stimulation of the scrotum may also be termed fellatio, or coquality as teabagging. If fellatio is performed on oneself, the act is called autofellatio. Fellatio can be sexual arousing for both participants and may lead to orgasm for the partner being fellated.
I think I peed.
I hope.
Oh. Okay.
All right.
And we're back.
What?
Oh,
okay.
God.
All right. Anyways, how about them blowjobs, huh?
Okay, I got a fax.
All right, let's hear it.
We don't have music.
Why not?
So,
You want me to sing something?
yes. Fellatio.
Fellatio. Find me on Fiverr. Pay me for some voice work.
Okay. So
you got to do it in the voice.
I can't.
I can't believe I did it for that long.
Okay, so today, because it's been so cold that I'm afraid to masturbate,
Oh, yeah.
I want to talk about Eskimos.
That's not what I expected. Okay. Proceed.
Okay. First of all, Eskimos, they don't like being called Eskimos.
Oh, this is a shocker.
I guess the term used now is Inuits, right?
Oh, okay, yeah.
Okay. But just like Paul's wife prefers not to be called a filthy whore, I mean, we still do it. It's just, it's insensitive. So here's some things that you might not know about Eskimos.
Paul said that was her name.
Okay. Within the close relationships between men Eskimo cultures, there was a sharing of food, supplies, and other goods, especially when they were out on the hunt. Men considered their companions to be brothers and shared everything, including sometimes their wives. This custom had additional implications. Sometimes when a man was out to hunt and his friends would think they were doing his wife a favor, and they would just drop by to bang one out without the guy knowing. So basically they fucking wife swap.
Yeah.
Right? Like Paul.
Yeah.
It's completely not uncommon for... Here, I'm just going to read this.
Just go for it.
Okay.
Do the voice and everything.
Because intercourse with another man's wife was common. It was possible that a woman could become pregnant with a child that wasn't their husband's. And it wasn't shunned. And children could be as communal as wives. Like, they were all just one big fucking, like, unseparated mess, I guess.
Yeah, that's where the term "it takes a village"
Yeah. Okay, according to the memoir of one English girl who grew up among Inuits in Greenland, which is bizarre in itself, if a woman became pregnant by a man other than her husband in the community, there's no stigma. It wasn't like suburban wife swapping. It was a question of survival. Equally, if a couple were childless, it wasn't uncommon for another family member to give them a child, and then they'd raise it themselves.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I don't think I could give away a kid.
You don't think you could give away a kid?
Mm-mm.
Even if it wasn't your kid?
No, sir, I'm not. Look, it was hard getting them in the van. I'm not giving them back now.
Okay, so having more than one wife was a sign that a man could afford to provide for numerous women. When Christianity was introduced to Eskimo populations, polygamy declined, but it never disappeared. So if a man knew he was going to be away for a while, he would arrange for his wife to take a second husband. Okay, so the Eskimos in the Eastern Arctic were open when it came to teaching their children. Parents would be affectionate, kissing, touching, and playing with one another openly, as well as praise their child's genitals from an early age. So that would be like your dad saying from the time you were really little till, say, high school, "Chip, that's a really impressive package you got there. Maybe we should show some people."
I'm uncomfortable.
Right? That's
Yeah.
pretty much what that is.
Yeah.
When Danish explorer Peter Freuchen spent time with Eskimo groups in Greenland during the 20th century, he wrote about his experiences and commented on the practices of young men and women. He noticed that parents didn't worry about whether their teenage children came home at night, but rather just understood that they had found a vacant igloo nearby and were spending time with somebody else, or maybe a group of people. They were having orgies from like early age and nobody gave a shit. Everybody's fucking everybody. In fact, at a larger settlements, there would always be what was called a youth people's house, where young people can sleep together just for the fun of it, with no obligation outside of that. Nobody takes offense at this practice, for no marriage can be a success without being good at fucking.
All right.
So when they would have their religious ceremonies, after every seance a shaman performed, men would exchange wives. Shamans would encourage the activity, but when it came to outsiders, handing over a wife was different. Merchants and travelers may find a wife in the community, but most young women were already married as soon as they were sexually mature. Women could also offer themselves to an outsider. All in all, arrangements to exchange and share wives among Eskimos were one thing, but giving a wife to a stranger was far less common, unless you're a filthy whore. Isn't that right, Paul? Oh my God. Eskimo conceptions of homosexuality don't conform to our understandings on the subject. That being said, opinion varies wildly among different Eskimo communities. For example, Beardek were men who dressed as women and did women's work. Even though they had sex with males, they weren't considered homosexuals. And just because Eskimos don't have a word for homosexual doesn't mean that they didn't have a way of talking about sexuality. In the Nunavut language, for example, the term for lesbian relationships is two soft things rubbing against each other. That's the term to discuss lesbians. It's a long way around.
Oh my God.
Well, for gay men, it's two hard things rubbing against each other.
We're going to have to put a disclaimer at the beginning of this show before anybody gets this far.
Obviously, at this point, you're wondering, did I just read this whole thing so that I could call Paul's wife a filthy whore? Yes, I did. But here's another Eskimo fact. Okay,
all right.
Just to leave on a happy note. In order to control their populations in difficult environments, Eskimo tribes sometimes practice infanticide. You know what it is?
Mm-mm.
That is where you kill a kid. Baby killing.
On a happy note.
And sometimes they killed their children if they couldn't take care of them. They also killed females more often than males, because men were more likely to die as adults, and the gender ratio in the community was like kind of hard to maintain.
Mm-hmm.
So babies, the most popular way to kill your kid, like out of top 10 ways to kill your kid, the number one way
This is so bad.
for Inuits to kill their kid was to take them out into the woods.
Oh my God.
Which like pretty much like 8 of the top 10 start with take them out into the woods,
Mm-hmm.
right?
I can't.
So
I feel
so
guilty.
They would shove their mouths full of grass and then just leave them to die.
Oh my God, that's so bad.
So, not only do I think that Paul's wife is a dirty, filthy slut, I also think that for the health and the well-being of the podcast, we should kill her. Because Paul's going to die eventually anyway.
Oh, this is really taking a turn for the worse. Now I can't even fucking speak basic English. I can't speak at all. It's definitely the beer, because this Sunblaze from the Five Wits Brewing Company is the shit.
This is the most fucked up infomercial I've ever heard.
And I love how I followed it up with the Five Wits Brewing Company
in Chattanooga, Tennessee.
So, I just want to thank everyone for listening to this if you've made it this far. Because if you've made it this far, you're one sick motherfucker. And you need help.
All right. Let's get out of here.
Yeah, we're definitely going to have to write a disclaimer at the beginning of this.
Paul is ruining the show.